Hello again. Right, apologies for not making a video for quite a while. The reason for that is that I feel that all the previous videos really do the job of showing you how reliable this method is, and there's not a lot more I can add to that, to be honest with you. Excuse me. But today, first off, I want to apologise for all these lines on here. This is actually how I trade. I actually manually draw ascending trend lines, support and resistance levels on individual candles and so on and so forth. And then I actually draw what I expect to happen and hope to happen. In this instance, once this ascending trend line is broken, I expect it. I don't want it to hit the big round number there, 143, before before I take a trade. So I'm hoping for it just to poke through there. This then would represent a level of support broken. It would come and test that support and go into the range of that support area, if you like, zone, and then pull back, or then I can enter the trade with an alert. So I'm still using the alerts. I will clean this chart up in a moment for you, and we'll show you how to draw the trend lines. The whole trade short was late in the day for me. You know, I like to trade, if you've watched other videos, you'll know I like to trade after 6 a.m, as close as I can to 6 a.m. And I know what they've done. I took the trade long, and they took it up to, Harry Hindsight is very easily brought into play here. They've hit the 144 level and then crashed the price. It is a common occurrence where the price will reverse at say 10-11 o'clock in the day. So you're watching for reasons for it to reverse. So it's not just about alerts and so on and so forth, because whatever way you look at it, this is counter trend. The trend is long. It has been trending up, making higher highs all day yesterday. It was sort of a given that it would reverse on a Friday, because they do profit taking and all that sort of stuff as well. But all that's very discretional, of course. But what we've got down here also is a strong level of, I hadn't drawn this on, strong level of area of support and resistance. I've still not got it right, even though it's just touched that. The level I'm trying to get on is here, because that is a massive level of support there. If we take the because you can clearly see it's supported price here, created the up move, it's again created an up move there. So what I always talk about, support becomes resistance. So they've come and tested it to see whether it'll hold as resistance. It has held as resistance, and forced the price down. Excuse me, got a cold. So as I said, I was going to put all these ascending trend lines on here to show you exactly how I did it. Now the whole point of this is to show you when I took the short trade, why I took it, where I took it, and using an ascending trend line where I felt my profit could be taken for that trade. So it coincided with the 143.25 level, but more importantly, it coincided with this, in my opinion, it coincided with this ascending trend line here. So as you know, I draw my trend lines differently. If you've watched previous videos, and I've put a few trend lines on, I've mentioned how I draw them. I draw them on the line charts, the close of the candles. So, or the average close, should I say, mean average. So let's clean this chart up. Get rid of everything on here. Actually, we just load that. And I'll show you the ascending trend line. So, first off, I wanted to know when it was safe to trade short. So I use the hourly chart for this and join up the higher lows that make higher highs. So this low here has just broken the high there. High, higher high. So I'm happy to join that and that. I'm happy to join that and that because it went on to make a higher high here. We can put one also on there. So we can clearly see we're breaking ascending trend lines. Then I want one on just to check the 30-minute as well. There and there. Excuse me. Join that one with that one that's higher high. Initially we'd have joined those obviously earlier on in the day to see what was going on, but now we've got a new, this is my time of day. If I had been trading at that time of day, then there would have been a trend line there, but I wasn't, so I didn't, as it were. On the 15-minute, now this is the one for the target. I joined that one to that one, and as you can clearly see, the price smacked it. I had to tighten that up, so that join those two there. There. So once price had broken through here, I was happy to target this area here, and this is just experience talking now. You can't, and this is why I ditched moving averages a long time ago to using manual trend line drawing, as it were, so that it forces me to do a greater analysis. An arbitrary moving average is nowhere near as precise or useful in reality than in my opinion the moving averages. So clean chart, line chart, draw your levels, and we start to get a feel for what's going on. So I also drew the daily low of the previous day, not yesterday but the day before yesterday. Yesterday was still trading within the range of yesterday's high and low, that red candle there, but I wanted to see that the previous day's major support had not in fact managed to hold as support, and the price had broken through that. Well, we knew that clearly, but when we're trading today, I wanted to be sure that that had not managed to act as support again, clearly, and we can see it using it. It's broken through it. It's used it, excuse me, as resistance. And once we got the whole trade was based on this M30 reversal here and the repellment, if that's a word, the resistance at this old support level here, which is this sort of scenario here, and we can clearly see it's done that. It's off the 144 level, so all of this is fairly discretionary, I understand that, but the whole point of it is once you watch charts and price action enough, you start to learn the way a particular currency pair moves. You'll see I trade mostly pound yen. I mostly talk about pound yen, and then this is how I've executed the trade and how I've gathered my profit. Now we can also see, once we've drawn trend lines like this, you could tighten them up now on the actual candles if you wanted to, but I won't confuse matters with that. So we can see once the price has come through here, it's come back to that daily low, tested it as resistance, which it's no coincidence that is also near that trend line that we drew. Then we've got once we get an M5 to the downside, this is where we start to think about trading this. Now, because I've got my trend lines on here, I didn't want to just trade this as a alert. I wanted to apply a little bit more discipline, common sense, call it what you like to it. Don't want to be trading into a support ascending trend line. I wanted to trade once it's broken it. So the actual entry for the trade was that candle there. Happy to trade it there. Got a little bit of pullback going on to the upside, but we can clearly see now we're below this this whole support area here as well, which create these green candles. So it closed below there, candle or two behind or after the original alert. Just using belt and braces, could clearly see this was where I wanted to, or thought the price would go based on the M15 trend line drawn on the line chart, as you can see. So now if I want to trade this again, get another entry into this, what I would be looking for is some sort of clean break of this level here, not, as I said in the earlier part of the video, not to touch that. I wouldn't trade it if it's touched that, because that's a massive level there. We can clearly see it's used that there. The 143 level, I want it to poke through a little bit more than it already has, use that ascending trend line as resistance, and then I'd be looking to enter somewhere around here, and expecting it to consider oh come on, don't mess about, that's it, expecting it to test that 143 level and then have another bounce, but it may happen, it may not happen, it may happen and go without me, but that's what trading is about: absolute discipline and patience. Those are the two most important aspects of trading. This you can learn, treat it like a computer game, just watch the charts, watch and watch and watch and watch. If you can't watch them happening, the second best obviously is to do your analysis after the event, but I think watching price react to all the different stuff here, the levels of candles, your 2B reversal type things I've talked about in previous videos, your ascending and descending trend lines, and it's just a question of getting experience, but it's always the same, always using the break of support and resistance, always using trend analysis. We've got a trend in place here: high, low, lower high, lower low, pullback, continuation. It's just about pure price action. What can I say? Thank you for watching. Hope this has had some value for you.